Hello, hello, hello. We're about to play some Seraph's Last Stand, capitalizing on a build that I think can make the cut. Now, we're going to do some things slightly different than last time. Chiefly, hold on, I'm going to hit up Discord real quick, drop the link. Alright, we're going to go with the Boom Staff because it seems to be the least buggy. And we're going to go with our boy here because, not for the more armor, but for the less move speed. And while I think the challenge hat is indisputably the most powerful, I don't want to wait 6 minutes and the monsters still be coming in. So we're going to attempt it with this run first, and if this doesn't work, we'll go back to the challenger's hat. Yep, and the slowness is a non-issue. As soon as we get nerd, it'll be like nothing happened. Alright, so we could go for Tome and just for sake appraisal, or we can go for Focus, which is going to be our main build. This is going to be our main build to get us there. Hey, love.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm live. Oh yeah, everything seems to be okay. We're going for the... I spent 1,000 hours in Photoshop working on our latest one. If you've seen the thumbnail.
No, I haven't.
I can't show you on here.
I'll take a look at it,
But yeah, basically I'm going to use a focus build because when you stand still, you shoot faster. And that's going to make it where I can get the cheese build going. So, there we go. Regrowth is something we need before we go for the build because it deals with the dreaded invincible enemy bug via the plague spreader. Man, there's like no enemies on the screen compared to what I'm used to. Now, because we're working with a lot less, we're also going to be... There we go. We're going to be trying to get a lot less stuff, so I'm going to use this juicy 10k souls I have to try to skip appraisal. At least until after we get our tomes. If we get down to like... Alright, so we can just grab our get focus here. And we'll grab one vampirism just to make it even safer. But the sooner we get Plague Spreader, the better. God, this is... yeah. Like, I'm used to playing with the Challenger cap on, so I probably can clear to wave 20 with Pea Shooter strats. We could go ahead and go for our first cloaks. And I don't mind grabbing just whatever we get. Because cloak is another way we are going to work towards our invincibility. Because we are going to go full Tome Scum strats with this. Now, I don't think we'll be going for a full 70 of them, but we will go at least for 60. Because, like, you could get up to 70 with the Challenger's cap because, like, a good portion of those were free. We can go ahead and go for more regrowth here. Yeah. There we go. Okay. We'll grab our first luck, and we are going to have to grab all 5 lucks, which is unfortunate. Thankfully, what is fortunate is just how easy these enemies are. And our HP is just ticking on up because of our abilities. If I can skip the cloaks, the 4 cloaks, I'm going to. Although we only need 3 more to get the absorb. Boom. Now we don't have to worry about the invincible boys, and every time they get on the screen, there's a time limit. They do 0.75 damage. So eventually by like wave 300 or something, because we're going to work our defensives first, we'll be able to, they just come on the screen, they just automatically die, and there's nothing they can do about it. Granted, we're going to work on our defensives more because this will be a wall build, but I'm wanting to exploit the fact that crit synergizes with plague. So we're going to get precisions with this to hopefully get that 0.75 all the way to 100% of their health. But to get there, we're going to need something pretty powerful. There we go. Now we have bunker. Yeah, we're probably going to need vampirism with this build. But we're just going to need like 1. We don't need any more regrowths. So we're really just digging for luck. There you go, we now have sadistic. We can go for more cloaks, but I don't think we'll need it. Yeah, luck, there we go. This is going to allow us to get our 1 leech. And just be off to the races. And we're not going to go for a green leech. So we're digging here for luck. How goes it, Brenna? Sweet. So we are becoming the wall. We'll go for a little more. Now we only need 1 more. We'll grab cloak. Alright, so cloak is going to give us not just invincibility during our walls off, but it's going to give us healing. We'll go ahead and grab our leech here, so now we're pretty much invincible. Up until like, yeah, I don't know what wave we'll be invincible to, but it'll be for a while. Now here, there's only 1 thing we want, and that's, well, 2 things. Luck and growth, but luck being the primary one. Well, luck and cloak. Boom. Now we're blessed, and we will be digging for tome from here. We're gonna go for the cloak. Part of me, we might go for appraisals too, just to make our life easier with the tomes. But I think we can afford to dig, considering how big the number is. And we need no more cloaks. Well, no more lucks. We'll grab cloak here. Boom. Now we have absorbent. Every projectile that hits you when you're invulnerable heals back 1 HP. We should be pretty much invincible now. This may have been overkill, but like, eh. Now we dig for tomes and appraisals. We're going to do the appraisal route because I don't want to click forward 40,000 times. There we go. We'll go for tome here. Now we want 12 tomes, so it'll be level... This time we don't have Challenger to help us. Here we go. We don't have the Challenger cap to help us, so we really are just digging for tomes or appraisal, whichever goes first. There we go. Murder. No wounds. Nope. This is going to be a nice, elegant build. No focuses. Tome and appraisal are the only two things we're looking for. And the only reason we're looking for appraisal is I don't want to spend... As you can see, we burn through our anima, so like, our souls. So we got to keep going. Invulnerable after taking... Yet no. We'll go for the appraisal here. We only need one more to get our skill. Did we just bug there? Because I don't remember grabbing three. Oh, well. I don't think so. We'll just tome or appraisal, whichever comes up first. That was appraisal. Yeah, there we go. Now we won't run out of souls. We're pretty much invincible. We have one card on our mind, and that is Tome. So we just gotta roll till we get it. And this is basically an exploitive way to play. Personally, I think it should be patched out, but if it's here and we want to go for a world record, you got to do the min-max. There you go. Our second, we need... Alright, so wave 36 will have Nerd start rolling in. So our current build needs to work us all the way to wave 36, or it's not good enough. It might be wave 35, okay. Here we go. Next step, more tome. So we just click till we get, there we go. We need 8 more of those bad boys. So yeah, it will be wave 35 that we get Nerd, and I believe it's wave 36 that we'll start getting the benefit from it. Sweet. Yeah, this is much faster than previous runs because we've been using Challenger's Cap, which is good, but like, you know, not that good. I should definitely do a video on how to just beat the game to wave 90 with consistency. Hmm. I was like, just getting to wave 90 is a certainty with this build. Alright, we'll need 3 more of the bad boys. Yeah, every time an enemy hits us, we reflect the damage back. We're pretty much immune to damage. We are the wall already. And the purpose for focus in this build is that it can carry us all the way to this wave 36, where by the time things start getting bad, Nerd should be able to carry us. At worst, we'll need to grab some HP. And even then, I'll probably, before the wave 70, just focus on getting more cloaks and regens. Because the big fragile point of this build is when you hit a point where enemies can two-shot you, and your regrowth isn't powerful enough to heal you to full off of one enemy. Ideally, we'll try to get to a point that we can regrow off of an enemy within the pierce point, and that's going to be between regrowth and cloak. There we go. Boom. All right, we're on. It was wave 34. I was wrong. All right, well, we've got Nerd, and it is the same wave, and we've got crits already, which is great. And crit does work on the reflect damage, which is an important part of the build. We'll end up slapping back harder than they can. And we got an early HP off of Nerd, so we're super safe. There we go. So it's just off the races. There we go. There's only one skill in this thing we're interested in right now, and that's Tome. The days of experimenting are behind us. We are in raw, put everything we have learned over the last few streams to the test. We gain stability, which is absolutely fine with this build. It'll mean a little more damage on our primary weapon via shots making it through. And then, of course, when we get Pac-Man, it'll just be an actual damage up. Not that we care about damage up with this build, we really don't. And we will not be getting more vampirism, because vampirism is not how we intend to survive. There we go. We got more soul drops, which honestly we don't particularly care about. In fact, they are an enemy of frame rate, so like we'd prefer not to max those out. It's not the end of the world though. It'll mean a little more damage. There we go. Another early HP up. So, yeah, we're definitely going to make it to wave 90 just off the passive nerdness alone. Alright. And we got a catalyst now, which is going to mean more damage from our primary weapon, which doesn't matter, it's not the build. But it does make the enemies pass by quicker and increases our leeching, essentially. The game's been really generous with the marksmans and things like that. We aren't crit capped yet, which is fine. After we're crit crapped, every marksman past that's a dead pool, but we're okay with that. That's the built-in downside with Nerd. Is the Nerd will be like, you need more crit? It's like, I'm maxed on crit. Nerd is like, nah, trust me, plebeian, you need more crit. And I'm like, I'm crit capped though. You're not just a nerd, you're wrong. Alright. Wound's another possibility, but like I don't think I think when we start trying to go for damage, because I want enemies to enter the screen and die without interacting with me. But before we do that, we need to set up our defenses. So we're gonna want like 20k HP, which is why by the way. Yep. This helmet's doing its part to keep us nice and slow. There we go. And of course, we accidentally went past Tome, but that's okay. We have unlimited rerolls. It will show again. Yeah, I'll be a little more careful next time, cause digging forever suck. The consequences of my actions have returned. There we go. Now our shots are even faster. There we go. So that'll mean quicker clearing, which is fine, but if they're all inevitably going to die off of our body. We do need to aim carefully because, yeah, we're at the point now where we are mortal. We can die. It's a possibility. But, yeah. We're at 23 tomes, so if we end up having to grab more HP, it's not the end of the world. And our damage is such that we can definitely stay alive off leeching. I would try to pull off a fun build, but the problem is, like, there's only so much frame rate the game can handle before it just dies. Boom. 25 of the bad boys. I'd say our dig for tomes have been pretty pleasant. We've had one bad one so far, and that was one that I goofed on. There you go, tome. Now, it looks like we're gonna make it to make it to the point that, yeah. Now we would like damage resistance to come from Nerd. Because like that's one that caps. So eventually Nerd will give it to us. And you don't want to invest into it too heavily because like it's one that once you have it, it pretty much caps. Plus, we reach 90% damage resistance, and we have the damage resistance cap, so... Yeah, we'd much prefer just invest in HP and hope that Nerd gives us the 1 or 2 resistances that will be helpful to us. Honestly, it's given us a lot of damage. Which isn't the build, but Nerd is like, you must hit harder! It's like, no, we are wall. There you go, more tone. Now we're going to be trying to reach wave 400, so we'll probably stop getting tomes around wave 100. Or a little sooner than that, probably wave 90, because like we're going to hit a wall where if we don't grab growths, we'll die. And we can't trust yet. Now we auto crit. Like there is no hit we do that doesn't crit. And we have enough leech. We have stability to the point that we're about to crit off of it. And we have soul drops coming. And soul drops do heal, so that's pretty good. It's not useless, which is A-okay. There you go. Stop giving us bullseyes, you nerd. We already auto crit. What are you doing, nerd? And for those who don't know, that's the super thing for Tome. But yeah, we want to get a point where when we max out our HP and get the Colossus doubling of health, that we break 10k or 8k at a minimum. We might end up getting tryhard from Nerd. That would be interesting. Yeah, we're at 283 health. Stability 3, Catalyst 4, like absolutely shredding with 0 effort. It's getting a bit scary. There you go. Even faster attack speed. I don't want to grab HPs yet, so... There you go. We've hit the point that we no longer need to stand still for the maximum growth, but we do need it for bunker. But we are at the point now where we do need to move out of the way of shots, or it's going to sulk. There we go. We got an extra HP off of Nerd, so that's gonna that's gonna keep us from having to sacrifice a level to the leveling gods for a while. And off of one jump height thing, we now jump pretty much to the center of the screen. Yeah, our HP is just fine. Like, we'll probably be able to survive to a wave 90 off this alone, but we're not even going to have to, because we will in all likeliness get resistance. Give me the book. There we go. We're at 37. We're at the boss. Boss is a complete joke for us. His shots can't even make it to us. And this, all of our damage came strictly from Nerd. Obviously, and the focus combo. Like 3 little focus boys, 1 vampirism, and we've been able to, like, this isn't even our final form. We're allowing them to hit us because, like, there is no reason not to. Witness me. And of course, each turn that passes is, yeah, there's just nothing they can do to us. There we go. More tomes, so we now have 38 of them. And let's check out our jump height. Yep, off the screen already. So we're hoping Nerd gets around to, stops with his fascination with jumping and moves on over to giving us what we want in turn, what we want, which is resistance. We need like 1 of them. Just 1 is all we need. If I have to pick one myself, it's not the end of the world. Although, knowing Nerd, after I pick one, he's like, wait a second, I can get you those, and give me like 10 of them. Yeah, we're at 39. So I do think we'll stop picking these up at about wave 90, like wave 90, wave 100-ish, because we do want to pivot to just picking up healths eventually, and we don't want to hit that point where picking up health isn't good enough, so like, yeah. It's tempting to pick up Tome just to have the higher invincibility line, because the weakness of the build is the downtime when there's few enemies, when enemies can hit hard or their hardest. When enemies can hit hard enough to kill us, that's when the question comes on of what do you do here? But we're already at 40 of them. Feels pretty good. But yeah, you actually have to dodge here, which is rough, but not insurmountable. But yeah, we're watching our HP bar more. Yeah. Because we know all we need to do is slightly move to get rid of the boys. And we got our first resistance, which is great. And we got it with like 40 or 41 tomes, so like it's probably close to cap already. There you go, we're up to 42 of the bad boys. There we go. Now, when we're in a build like this, it is our build that is doing the work for us. So we may have to grab some HP coming shortly in the next waves. But we got our second resistance, which means we're gonna be pretty good. It's once we pass wave 90 that I think we yeah, see, like right there we got to half health. That's actually scary. One failsafe we could build towards is vampirism, but that would take 3 whole investments that we don't want to make. I think it'd be better to work towards our final HP thing, which would mean cloak, regrowth, and just growth. Because that will be what keeps us alive. There we go. Thankfully, because we're not using the challenge cap, I'm not worried about getting overwhelmed. We will go ahead and go with our regrowth there. Because it's a percentage factor based off enemies. The big question is, the cap for our regrowths is 100% with 1 enemy on the screen. Or 50% because like we can stack up. Yeah. The more, I don't know the exact math for it, but I do know on principle the more cloaks we stack, the less regrowths we'll have to stack by a large percentage. Because if we can full cap off 2 ticks, that requires half the regrowths. So there's got to be a ground there where regrowth is just, yeah, not as good as cloak. We'll go ahead and do that. That'll give us a little more margin of error. The 1 HP from the shots hitting us is not a big deal. But like, yeah, it does help us accomplish, yeah. There we go. And we got another growth off of Nerd, which is nice. We're still reaching half health, which is not nice. We will go for a tome here, though. Because I want to risk it for the biscuit. 43. That was a tome. We'll get a penance cloak. There we go. There comes a point where they just can't... Yep. There comes a point where they just can't damage us because of our current setup. We want to get it we want to get the monsters to a point where they just can't kill us. I'm watching our HP bar. We're gonna go ahead and dodge. Yeah, we are not immortal yet. We will go for tome, though. I think we'll stop at 70 tomes because it's going to get harder and harder to get there. And nerd is going to be less and less effective as we get capped on things. But yeah, watching this... See, the shots start getting scary about here. Every regrowth we grab and every cloak we grab will make that less true. And then it comes a matter of, are we one-shottable? Alright, we'll grab that tome. Yeah, as long as we're crowded, it's not a huge deal. And there we go. We are cruising towards the world record. Murder, murder, murder. I do think we can still justify tome spam. We'll go for a little more cloak. Yep. Excellent. And we want to spread the damage out kind of thinly. Alright, we'll grab tome here. Yeah, we're getting a lot of crit, which we do not need, and a lot of speed. Hmm. But yeah, we will not be getting vampires on this build for sure. We'll grab another regrowth for safety. Because ideally, we'd like we would like to get enough of those things that where our full bar ticks even on with one enemy on the field. But yeah, them just existing takes a bunch of damage. There we go. There's not much they can do to kill us at this point. And we don't have to worry about our frame rate going down. My computer specs are absolutely beefy. Alright. Alright, we're not immortal. Let's grab a little HP. So our health bar is our survival outside of cloak. Our cloak is just nice. We'll still grab tomes though, because I do think that that's what will be necessary for the end game. Because there will be a point where we're grabbing nothing but growths until we die. That's just how the build works. I will sneak in a few, at least to get mega crits going. Because the shorter the enemies can survive too, the easier it'll be. The shorter the down phase will be. Because ideally, like, once we get... Shit. Yeah, we're reaching the point where we're running out of time and we have to get growths. It's that or build up leeches, but I'd rather not do that. We're definitely grabbing tome here. I think 70 tomes will be our max here. Yeah. We got a third resistance there. That should cap us on resistance or be really dang close. Just because, like, we got that with 47 cloaks, so pretty powerful. Yep, and we just invincible, chilling, living our best life. Yeah, leech is keeping us alive, but it's sketch. Now, of course, we want to focus our fire on the non-faded ones so that they kind of die at the same time. There you go. So I think, yeah, 22 more of those bad boys will be the max, and then we're just going to raw focus on HP. Because we're already at a point where where there's X amount of enemies on screen where the equals we're invincible. Yeah, we're still reaching... Yeah, we're still killable, which is scary. We'll grab a regrowth here to be safer. Yeah. More, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's some of the invincible boys, which we love to see. They keep us healed. And they also let us see, yeah. So these are the reason we got plague. And it's good to see just how we are getting like 4 HP a tick. So we need a lot more regrowths. We'll grab another regrowth there. Yeah, hey, blue-red, it's going pretty dang good. We're just being the wall right now. We're trying to get we're trying to tease the game into invincibility via invincibility frames plus health per second ticks. Theoretically, we should be able to become invincible, and then it just become a matter of don't get one shot. But we're approaching the point that we're going to have to get our HP up. Because we are definitely actually having to play the game right now, which is not the build. Alright. We'll grab a vanilla growth because that'll help. Yeah, there we go. We need to get up to more regrowths though. So like our tome stacking is not where it should be. But yeah, we have greatly reduced the window of where we actually have to play because obviously, yeah. So right now we're invincible, which is great. But now, with this fight here, we're actually having to dodge and shit, and that's not where we want to be. This is definitely a tome turn. We have Desperate, which is decent. That means every wave we go to max HP, so the likelihood of us being one shot at the beginning of the turn is pretty much nil. The only time we have to worry about dying is when there is too few enemies on the screen. Yeah, we got... So we need to obtain a Alright, so we need to obtain a mix of cloak and renews. To be like the basis of basically you can't kill us for X amount of time, and we get our HP back within that time. So yeah, this is the most vulnerable time for us because those shots are really potent. Yeah. We'll grab a little more cloak. So we'll get like 20 something cloaks so that we're never in any real danger. Or we have, you know, a long time to get out of the way when danger time does occur. And this build pretty much, it comes to a point where every hit they do reflects back at them. And ideally we want it to where it starts reflecting back more damage than they have HP. Once we've got our defenses set down, and then even better, we want it to be Plague Doctor one-shots them before they're even on the screen. But we don't want that to happen until we can successfully heal up heal up without leeching. Yeah, see, look, like, thankfully it's a manageable horde size. Alright, we almost died there. We're gonna grab a safety growth. Yeah, the downside without Challenger Cap, the build's harder to do, so we may end up just doing Challenger Cap. But, like, this should be fine. Yeah, we want to... Yeah. So essentially, all of these guys are noise. If they wanted to beat me, they'd send in one boy at a time to come fight me. And even then, I could outskill one at a time, so, like, yeah. But yeah, now's where it starts to get scary. And we want the amount of time we have to deal with scariness down, so Cloak. Can do it. The spam shot does help too, because it is still able to block shots. There will come a point, though, where their shots are so stable we can't destroy them. Alright, I'm feeling cocky. Let's get another tome going. Alright, I missed tome. There we go. We do want to beat to 60 of those guys. The game's giving us a lot of damage and a lot, yeah, which is fine. Like, it's not what we're after, but yeah. Here we go. Yeah, we're doing pretty okay on the invincibility front. Yeah, this is where it gets scary. And we're just removing the boys. Remove them. There we go. Deleted them. Yeeted them. The more regrowths we get, the better, but we're reaching the point where we want to get tome to our cap. Now, I'm not feeling scared at the moment. Alright, we have Pac-Man now, which is another damage up, and more stability, which keeps our leech line safer. Stability is one that we can't get enough of. Like, if they want to give us 20 stability, that nerd can do that. I'm okay with that. We'd prefer growth. One more resistance for good luck would be okay, but like at 3 resistance, if we're not at the cap, Bunker gets us there pretty quickly. Yep. Now enemies are starting to disappear. This is where the zone starts getting scarier. Our HP is no longer going to max when things die. Now it's time to move around. We definitely get Tome here. Tome's the only purple we care about. So even in later waves, when we get all purple waves, we'll just grab a Tome. I mean, Leech would be okay, but Leech isn't what keeps us alive. If we're relying on Leech to keep us alive, the build is failing. Oh yeah, if this build doesn't work with this one, we're definitely going Challenger. Because, like, I think with the Challenger cap, it's just, it takes longer, so, like, it might just time me out of being able to get the world record. But, like, yeah, this build will definitely work. Because all we need to do is make sure we can't die, so, yeah. Yeah, this is where it's getting scary. Where are we at on the scariness meter? Like, I'm gonna try to just stand still. All right, we are getting to over half, which is genuinely, yeah, it's genuinely scary still. But we're at the point where I felt we had to move after there was 10 of them. We're gonna grab another regrowth. And 10 regrowths, we're starting to get pretty beefy. I gotta eat first. We'll be right back. Yep, I'm still alive. Sweet. I've returned, refreshed, renewed. Yeah, so the build definitely is almost to play itself levels. It's when there's like 5 left. Yep. And we're just moving to ensure we survive. We will add precisions to the build because mega crits will mean the reflex kill faster. Grab another cloak here. Yeah, because too, like if we get cloak to last so long that the last phase of the battle they die before we can get out, that'll be pretty sweet. And this is the, break yourself. Yeah, this is one wall you cannot crawl. Lobsters. And we're up to 8 healths too, so that's pretty nice. Now we're at the point where they're disappearing. Alright, we're officially reaching to half. Yeah, like, we could have died there. Alright, there's someone off screen, though, which is yuck. Although off-screen, hello Waffle Wolf, I'm back and I'm going for the world record. We will be going over to RimWorld, and I have purchased Rogue Legacy 2. So we'll be seeing that. The model from here forward is going to be RimWorld as my main game, playing it every other day, and then playing the other games mixed in the day that we're not doing RimWorld. I think that'll give the channel a little more consistency. How have you been? They are trying their hardest yet. We are not quite invincible yet. Yeah, we grabbed another HP from Nerd, though, so we're getting there closer. Good to hear. Yeah, I've been networking on Twitter and stuff like I've been pretty good. I've been networking on Twitter, trying to make some more friends so that we can do multiplayer like Amogus. Shaboom. Cloak is tempting, but I think here we're going to try to grab another tome. Because I am still mortal. I can definitely die towards the end. So part of me is like, just keep attacking regrowth until you can't die. And then go for HP. But like, I don't know. Every time we don't grab tome, that's a problem. Where art thou, tome? There we go, boom. We're at 54 of them. Okay, we definitely have to grab HP next turn. Yeah, wave 89. Alright, so All right. So thankfully we're safe now. We definitely can get to full health, but we're going to get our growth caps up. It's kind of wave 89 is the pencils down moment. I do think Challenger's cap would definitely be is definitely the sauce you need to go for the world record consistently. But I don't know. Because like we would have about 20, possibly 30 more of the things we need. And we do have to watch our HP. Okay, we gotta try to kill the yellow boy, because they're the ones causing us big troubles. We're probably gonna die this wave. I'm gonna be focused, serene, and just focus on survival. There we go. We grabbed home here, and we just need one more spicy survival turn. Thankfully, it looks like we got an HP up. We're at 10 of those bad boys now. Thankfully, we can survive with this many enemies on the field, no problem. But yeah, we'll test with 10 here. We're also at 4 of the resistant boys with a whole bunch of them, so we should be at the resist cap. But even being at the resist cap and everything else we got going on, it is hard to survive here. And it is tempting to move out the way, because this is scary. Oh shit, what just bit? Oof. Okay, it wasn't a bite, thank goodness. It was just my foot cramping. Felt like a bite though, damn. 1 HP. Alright, we grab a growth here. Oh, cool. The things. I survived with 1 HP in that last wave. But yeah, alright, so we'll do Challenger's Cap next run, but I've noticed, like, we flew to wave 91 on this one, where it would have taken however long it takes all the extra enemies to get on the screen with the other one. Yeah, I've been doing workouts and yard work and things like that. I got the olds. Yeah, I'm getting a foot massager off of Amazon, and we are getting a new bathtub soon, so I'll be able to do deep soaks. But it looks like for every exercise session I have, I gotta follow it up with some massaging and soaking these days. Enjoy your youth while you have it, Waffles. Yeah, well, we're getting everything we can to not be murdered by it. But yeah, this way is where it's screwy. We're gonna go with growth and regrowths here, because yeah, that's the area where it's scariest. We can just go with regular growth here. We now have Bulldozer. Yeah, this isn't going to be an impressive doubling. And we're still the helmet doesn't really do its job of making it where we can move slower. I think we'll eventually get outscaled on this run. But yeah, alright, so as you can see, we're tearing through this, yeah. And what was that? Yeah, we are immortal at the moment. Ah, we actually genuinely died there too. Alright, so I think I have seen it. Right. Turn that music down, turn the sound down, get a cursor color going. Alright, so the build we know works. The problem is, well, and not even a problem. We just know that there's better builds. We can go for homing projectiles. The only downside is the invincible mobs become the troubles. Yeah, we'll go for boomstick still. There we go. So this will just be better because the only stat we care about, yeah, the suspicious tentacles, I would assume. That's pretty fun. But yeah, also Amanda and I have been talking about, all right, we'll go for the early leech just for because we know we have to get it. It's part of our combo to stay alive all the way to like wave 40. Right, we know we want regrowth, and we got 2 regrowths to start, so already we're ahead. The amazing... yeah. The amazing tentacles, yes. I could just see like a prude ad where they're like, look at my tentacles, they are amazing. There you go. So we will get our anti-bug thing, which is Plague Doctor, and we'll have it early. And we're literally doing just the same build, but with the benefit of Challenger's had of getting it popping off earlier, and of course, just smoother all around. We're also going to attempt to skip appraisal because at least until we get to nerds, just so that we get all those, at least, you know, the extra ones. Thankfully, we got plague by just picking 3 of the regrowths, so we're already super ahead. Now, of course, the downside with going Challenger's hat is the waves drag on. But if we get our build, and we can chill, we can chat, and we can enjoy ourselves while we wait. I need to set up a double screen mode where I can play a second game while doing this. I think that could be fun. Alright, we have enough leech for the rest of the game. We'll get our first focus here. Okay, we can almost stand still through it, but not quite. Go ahead and grab our first luck. We're going to try to skip the cloaks a little bit too. Because if we can win it just off, if we can get it just off of Nerd, we'll be off to the races a lot faster. And ideally, we will get a double on the luck here, and we'll get a double on our next focus. I wouldn't mind 4 focuses if we get the proc off of it, but it's not ideal. It's not ideal. We could go cloak here. We're gonna go luck though. There we go, boom. All right, we got 2 lucks. That gets the build off the ground faster. We love to see it. And we know that there's only a certain amount of time the enemies can survive on the field, which is great. Alright, we could go more regrowth. That luck is on our mind. Boom, we're at 4 of them. Now, we'd prefer not having 5 lucks. Oh, 6 lucks, but if it procs, it procs. There's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, at level 9, the ideal thing we could get is the double focus. There we go. We could go ahead and go for cloak because we're gonna need them anyways. But yeah, we'd prefer luck. There we go. And we didn't get the double luck, which is fine. Like, we'd prefer... It does not help or hurt our build. Now we can start climbing for our perps. And if we're powerful enough with the 2 focuses, we'll be able to get our nerd online sooner, and that will mean more talents, which means, I mean, we're already doing pretty dang good. There we go. And we got bunker right away, so this is a blessed run. We're working on tome. We're going to be working on our tomes now from level 10, which is freaking great. Okay, it looks a little sketch. We may we're going to go ahead and get our cloaks to absorb levels so that we don't died. Even just a little bit of invincibility is already gets there. There we go. Yeah. So yeah. But even just a little bit of cloak is already getting us close, so that's helpful. If we're lucky, if we're super, super lucky, it'll give us the absorb. Although it looks like we're not going to need it. We're going to go ahead and go for tome. Yeah, the percentages aren't quite adding up. We'll go for the appraisals. Yeah, we're almost invincible now, so that helps. There we go, we have absorb. Now, of course, cloak is the one we'd have loved to have doubled, but like, yeah. Alright, so we're going to need to get appraisals, and pretty much appraisal or tome, whichever. This one, we're going to get tome. But when we play the roll game, it'll be appraisal or tome, whichever shows up first. And there we go. So we need 11 more of those bad boys. Yeah, but with just the Challenger hat, we're already way ahead of the curve. And there we go, we need 10 more of those bad boys. I'm willing to spend 10,000 to get it early. I think it's worth it. Tome or appraisal, whichever we see first. Alright, we got 4 of them, so it's getting increasingly... Skipping appraisal is getting more and more yummy looking, but we can't do it forever because we're already down to 10,000, which is pretty rough. Alright. Yeah, it's real tempted to just go for it, because, like, cost us 200, though. Like, oof. Yep. Digging with just 4 of them is yikes. Alright, we need, yeah, alright, so I think we can sustain it, especially since we've got another extra couple rolls just stood there for us. Yeah, we had to dig a bunch even when it was all purples available. Oh well. I think we can definitely get five more. Alright, so we're gonna do a gamble here. Yeah, we'll go appraisal. We're gonna need it eventually because, like, yeah, we're already down. We've burnt through a lot to get to where we were. So tome or appraisal, whichever we see first. Now, what would be cool is if we get it next turn, but I won't cry if we get to 5 appraisals. 5 appraisals would be a-okay. No, I mean digging for the rest of the game is slightly quicker. So tome or appraisal, whichever we see first. Ooh, and that was a double. Now we definitely just... I think it's worth it just to dig for the tome. Acquire the tome. Yeah. There we go. Oh, we got dealer. Sweet. Now we just get tome. And we'll be... Yeah, we're going to be at it at wave 26 at the earliest. Which is still earlier than last time, which is great. So now we dig for free. It's just a matter of when will tome show up for us. All praise the tome. Hands up to them. I just saw it pass. Ah! I saw it pass twice. I'm cut between wanting to talk, because obviously I'm streaming, versus focusing and making sure we get it. Boom, we are now a nerd at level 26. And our first go was damage, which is fine. We don't particularly care about damage, but like it does... It speeds the rounds up, if nothing else. Grab a little cloak as a treat. We got some marksman, which is fine. And in me the tome. Oh, yeah. And me the tome. Yeah, we'll get our regrowth up a little bit more. Yeah, we got early damage resistance. We are going to be A-okay. We are still ahead of the curve. Go, more soul drops, which is fine. Soul beams will end up being more damage for us. Plus, that we can set them off when we get to the dangerous step. Alright, we're going just for tome, maybe. Alright, we're at 14 of the bad boys. Yeah, we're at resistance 2 already, so we're going to be surviving for a long time. It's kind of pencils down at wave 88. We at least want to grab gross before then, but like... There you go. I don't think we're wrong for grabbing regross. I do think there's going to be a hard cap on them because like there's only yeah. Generates HP based on the number of enemies alive. So whatever the percentage to be a like 50% or even 25% tick your health off one enemy is where we're no longer need regrowth. Also, tomes, the more tomes we get early, the better. There we go. Got a little damage up there. At least the higher our base shots are up, the quicker the wind up on focus caps our stuff. So it's not entirely useless. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. The reason being it'll mean less time on that screen for us. There we go. There we go. We're up to 16 of these bad boys. Yeah, this is just gonna mean we get our tomes faster. I do wish appraisal would phase itself out once it passes its cap. Alright, we're gonna go. grabbing cloaks and regrowths are tempting because, like, we do hit a point where it gets scary and we could die. And I'd like to eliminate that possibility. So you know what? We'll go with another cloak here. There you go, we're at 9 regens, which is going to be pretty awesome. Yep, they do marginally no damage to us. Let's see. More tome. And we grabbed our first ability off of Nerd, which feels pretty good. Eventually we will have more tomes than our own level, which should help out. Here, we're at 10 of the boys now. We're at 18 tomes. So with each proc a challenger's hat we get on that, it's as if we've got it at level 22 already on a regular run. And we got very stable shots. We've got good crit rate. Precision for mega crits wouldn't be horrible. Okay, we're at 11 regrowths. We've got no HP ups yet, which is great, because Colossal will double our HP. The longer we hold off getting Colossal, the better. Okay. So we're at 13 of those boys now. Yeah, the more rigorous we have, the more cozy we'll be. Because there will be an eventual point where all we grab is growth. Alright, I think we can work on... Now that we have 14 of these bad boys, I feel pretty comfortable going for just pure tome. At some point, we're going to have to grab a growth. I'd prefer to do that when we're past 50 of them. All right, we got our first free HP up, so that sets us up nicely for the future. Alright, and we grab Tome here. This is getting us so ahead, it's amazing. Ugh. There we go. Okay, 21 of the bad boys. And pretty much, we're going to want to get our HP like above 2k at a minimum before wave 89, because that's when it gets spiced. So we'll grab as many tomes as we can before then. And with all the extra mods we have this time around, like, we're eating shots no trouble. We'll grab another cloak for good luck. There we go. 22 tomes. Game's given us quite a few catalysts too. Like our stats, Nerd is just insanely OP, and I love it. Haha. Let's go ahead and get our crit damage. Ooh. Main reason being it modifies everything, and if we get mega crits up, it'll just mean enemies melt. Granted, we're not going to stack up to 16 of them yet, because eventually we're going to want 125 of the suckers, but bridging the gap between, so to speak, is pretty hard on that. There you go, Tome. Yeah, we got 4 resistances, so we're probably, if we're not capped, we're dang close to it. Especially considering we have Bunker. Alright, we're gonna get mega crits onto the menu. And undoubtedly we'll get more bullseyes eventually. Right now we only have 2 of them. Red damage is still possible. But Nerd will most likely give us another eyeball soon, and we just need 1 more for max crits. There we got Exorcist. Sweet. So Exorcist is actually pretty helpful for the build. When we get scared, we start beaming the enemies. And we'll get our last precision next, and then it's just tome straight to a level like 87 or 85. We got 5 resistances, so like if we weren't resistance capped before, we so most certainly are now. There we go. And I wonder if the Mega Crits pushed out the red damage. No, we can still do red damage. Not a big deal. Yeah, the plan with that will be eventually our boy Plague Spreader will one-shot enemies, which will be absolutely silly and get the job done. Let's go for Tome. Yeah, as you can see, we can pretty much annihilate enemies now. We will be looking to... We may grab HP soon. There we go, 26 of the bad boys. But yeah, Nerd gave us HP, so we're probably safe to get nothing but Tome from here. And we have much more regrowth this time around, so our down period is much less of an issue. And we do Mega Crits too, so our shots leech is pretty on point. So it's like, considering if we want to get vampirism, only if we absolutely have to. Although it's much more attractive to go for it this time around. Okay. For my next trick, I'm just going to shoot straight up. I will be right back. Alright, looks like the wave's already over. We survived. Alright, 28. There we're at 5 of the resisty boys. Yeah, if this is going to be a game where we get 100% soul drop rate, so be it. The time has come again to collect our tome. Yep. Dang it. There you go, we're at 29 of them. We're definitely hoping for procs, because, yeah. There's coming a point where we're going to have to grab HP. The extra Origians certainly help, though. And then we just annihilate the boss like he's nothing. We're up to 31. So as long as we get a little lucky with our challengers, we will catch up. But yeah, the soul killers give us a lot more wiggle room. But yeah, we're gonna start hitting a point where we have to get growth, so otherwise we're just gonna die. And we got our glasses now, so it looks like everything is an automatic super crit. Yeah, so we're going to hope Nerd helps us out by giving us some growth so that we don't have to sink a turn into it. There we go, got our tome. We're at now 33 tome. We also have silly damage. Yeah, Nerd now can hit a bunch of stuff we don't care about. We don't care about jump height or movement. We don't really care about it. Damage is okay because it's more leeching for what it's worth. And leeching does help us stay alive. And we're up to 33 of these bad boys. All right, 34. We have some stabilization. We hit like a truck. There's no doubt about that. Which is great because yeah. And of course we do have the soul thing, so when we do hit the phase where we have to move, we'll be shooting up some serious damage. See? Boom. There we we go. Yep, I feel we're in a pretty good position here. Definitely to Challenger hat's the way to do it. It's just way too powerful because like now this build's gonna get to a point where all we have to worry about is making sure we can't be one shot. And we will accomplish that through stacking more regrowths and stacking more cloaks. We're at 37 tomes, which is alright. I wouldn't mind getting to a point where these things are just every single one of them drops one. And our extra damage means our leech is keeping us up better than before, so yeah, we're in a much safer build. Alright, and that was 2 tomes, so we're even better off than before. We're reaching a point where grabbing a safety growth or even a safety regrowth would be a good idea. Because there will come a point in this build, if we keep going, where it'll be like every ticker regrowth is 1000 HP, which will be sweet, or more. If we get it capped, that would be even better, because it's about the amount of enemies per screen. So the theoretical cap is whatever the amount of regrowths we need to multiply by 1 enemy. Like if we can get it there, that'd be nice. Alright, we got desperate now, so we have been getting renews, but it is what it is. Renew just maxes your, it just heals you. It's something you never want, but we can't stop nerds from getting it. There we go, we're almost there. Alright, so we get us a book. Shuffle around through the deck as long as it takes. I'm tempted to get a couple regrowths here and there, but like, or even more cloak. Mainly because I hate pushing this button, like, ah. And I skipped a tome like a dum-dum. Screw it, we're going for another cloak. There we go. Every millisecond we can't be hit matters. Sweet. No, we're at 41 tomes already, which is better than last run. Yep, this is just better than last run categorically. Alright, 42 of the bastards. I mean, This is not a damage build by any means, but our damage is through the roof. And we got one of those invincible a-holes. So yeah, Mega Crits is definitely enough to make it where enemies don't last too long on the screen. $43. Alright, we're getting to the point that we're gonna have to grab HPs. But, yeah. I think we made it pretty far without having to do it, but we'll grab one this turn, because we're reaching half health. And we like the invincible boys now because their survival helps us pretty nicely. But yeah, Plague versus plus Mega Crit is insane because, like, yeah. We'll grab one growth for safety here. And it looks like we got a double on it, which is fine. Cool. I feel comfortable grabbing Tome for another few levels. But yeah, we're going to want to break the 2000 mold before wave 89 because that, yeah, we were in danger of getting one shot last time. Here we go. Books, please. Let's see, where is our book? That was Tome, damn. There we go, we're at 44 of them now. Ah. Yeah, my tomes are a bit delayed, but I think we'll be able to more than make up for it. We definitely had to smoother climb up than last time, that's for sure. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be able to reach over 50 before we start having to stack them. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're trying to go for a world record, it's a little different than playing the game, I'd say. Especially in a game like this, yeah. But yeah, AO, we are the wall still. I've refined the build down because, like, if I'm playing the game, the build is not going to plan. I should be able to be like, ah. But yeah, the game could definitely use some updates. The number one update would be get rid of Tome. Because, like, it encourages... like, if you... People who want to play the min-max game and say, look, I've gotten the best score are... Yeah. Cool. But yeah, it's a pretty good... It's a pretty standard wave defense. Where you're you're Seraph Blast Wizard standing off. But yeah, this build will hit a point where we're not playing it at all. But that's because I'm going for a world record. It's not how I would normally play games. Yep. But what completely negates the RNG of it is the fact that you can roll infinitely. So it's a patience test. Yeah, because like the RNGs, it's technically RNG, but like you can just push the button until Tome shows up. It's very unlikely you'll run into a scenario where just like it's unlikely you'll see me sitting here for an entire hour. Yes, correct. So yeah, it's the doubling mechanic from Challenger's Hat. I agree. Definitely is. Yeah, you are correct. So the theoretical best build is the ones where you get lucky with the Challenger Hat. Now we're hitting a point where things are getting scary. We need over 2,000 HP before wave 89. Well, before wave 88. So we will need to grab HP soon, but it looks like we're going to have more than enough room to grab to get to at least 60 HP. Because, like, we don't want to get our HP doubled and it not look like a fat 8,000, 10,000. But at that point, we're going to start climbing for the regrowth cap, which will, because ideally what we want is there to be, even if there's just one enemy on the screen, our HP go all the way up before our cloak goes down. If we get to that point, I think we'll be able to make it to the Wave 400 club. There we go. We're at 50 of them because we got a lucky proc. But yeah, I tried to do it without it, like earlier, just with a growth thing. We'll definitely grab a safety HP next. Yeah, I'm not sure what my cloak to regrowth ratio should be, but I do know I want both of them. Because theoretically, the more cloaks we have, the less regrowths we'll need to reach the theoretical cap, because you'll be able to get more ticks off. And I'm not sure which is better, although cloak is definitely great because these down moments where there's only a few enemies on the screen are our most dangerous time. Right. Thank you. Yeah, and it's just like the sheer amount of stuff you get. Like you get nerd sooner, so you get more tier 1s. You stack your cloak higher, so when you do have to grab HP, which we definitely are grabbing HP next turn. Honestly, it was greedy of me not to grab it before. Plus, RNG wise, we got more of the soul things, and these soul things really do help because every time you hit them, it's not just damage; it also they heal you via booming hitting the boys. And the big question is if I should get vampirism or not. But every point I get in vampirism, the further I'm away from capping my real defense, which is cloak and regrowth. And so it's like, I went ahead and went for the cap on those though, which seems to be at least enough. All right, we're going for a growth this time. There we go. There is not a white life leech. That's green or higher, so I could get more life leech, which would be safer. But it's scary to get because if I don't reach the regrowth cap, I'm not going to be invincible, which is the heal per turn second. So it's like life leech would definitely make things smoother, but like it's oof. More regrowth would also make things smoother. Not as smooth, but like, yeah. And there is a good thing, like, with the mega crits, I'm healing pretty high. There we go. We're going to grab a couple more tomes now, because that should keep us safe until about wave 88, easily. ASXP, how goes it? We are going for the world record build, if you see it. Well, yeah, well, there's a purple one as well. Ha ha ha. It's good to see people here. We will also be doing my first RimWorld run tomorrow. I've also purchased... Yep, wall build. We have we have resistance to cap. We have sadistic, which means every time they hit us, it deals damage back to them. Thank you, Waffle Wolf. You are amazing. Yeah, we are building a community. I've been in communication with people on Twitter that like to play Among Us and a few other things. I will be trying to do more group content. Yes, and my stance on lurkers is lurking is valid. I am A-okay. You can watch me as little or as much as you want. Lurking means watching without interacting with the chat, which the truth is, that's the bigger you get, the more lurkers you have, and most of them are pretty chill. But you know, one thing some content creators will do incorrect is go, "You're here, you should be chatting." It's like, no, my job is to be entertaining. If I need chat to entertain people, I don't deserve it. I do appreciate it though. So it's a dynamic, and I want to be on the right side of the dynamic. All right, we're gonna grab another tome here. There we go. We will put that to the test, Waffle. One thing we need to get you on to is I want to do voice lobbies, so we need to figure out a solution for you to get microphones. Yes, Among Us usually has a younger audience. On YouTube, you are among the youngest Among Us. So it's going to be interesting to see. Ah, experience. Okay. Yeah, I have never... Yeah, which is a-okay. I will be going ahead and grabbing a base growth now because we are... Yeah. And we need over 2,000 HP before wave 89. There we go. Yeah, we aren't struggling. Alright, yeah, and that could be a start. There's some software too that can crispen up your voice and help that with that. Like, cause with the laptop microphones, mainly you'll need to increase your gain to a point. And yeah, so that'll be a YouTube assignment for you, is to go through and learn how to make the most out of what you got. Yeah, so there's some tricks you can do with a laptop microphone to make it sound better. I don't know them off the top of my head. Eventually, yeah, do y'all have Amazon in South Africa? Because I can't promise it this week or next week, but like if you're continuously playing with me on my channel, I think purchasing you a nice microphone, USB one, is the least I could do. Like yeah. Now granted, I can't promise it just yet because, you know, money matters. But I do think we could do that for you. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh my goodness, you bought that person a yeah. And that'll be as a no strings attached gift, so if you play, yeah, but like I'm pretty sure it'll be just chill with us. Alright, we just got double tome there, and we have Pac-Man, which is a damage increase. Plus, every point of stability we get is more guaranteed contacts of our main weapon, which is pretty important. Okay. I have not done it yet, ASXP. Keep in mind, she's been moderating for me and stuff for a while, so yeah. While this channel makes $0 dues, I could definitely see, you know, about helping her out, because she's part of the reason you don't see spam here. But I know people can get weird about it, like, yeah, and plus, like, I don't want to see like a 4-hour-long essay on why Brian is the worst person in the world because of the things he's done. But eventually, the bigger I get, that's bound to happen. Because the worst part is I'll watch, read it, and take it seriously, and I'll be like, maybe I am the bad guy here. How can I not be the bad guy? Okay. And of course, some people will be never pleased no matter what you do, but I'm definitely not in the camp of people who was like, never apologize. No, I'm fine with apologizing if I'm wrong. Yeah, okay. So that's, because one thing too is like, well, we can, yeah, we can do it then, because one thing I don't need to know is your address. So you can Amazon wishlist a couple of the things you need. I can order it for you there. I don't have to know your address, and we go pretty good there. Because one thing you need to practice is, you know, not doxing yourself to others, you know, giving away your identity and all that fun stuff. Oh yeah, you could do Discord on your phone while you play. That would work. Oh. You already have a laptop, and your laptop probably has USB ports. Like, you can send me the specs for your laptop if it's, yeah. We'll definitely try to set you up, because one thing I've always been interested to is getting more people into streaming. It doesn't even have to be video game content. My wife is getting into sewing content, so it would be a fun experiment to see what, yeah. Stupid phone. Alright, I'm going to grab one more HP here because I know we're in... Well, I'm going to grab Tome here. I'm going to grab one more HP on this level, just to get us over the 2,000 threshold, because we are about to see the yellow enemies, and the yellow enemies can hit for basically game-ending damage if I don't do something about it. But thankfully, I'm only going to need to grab one of those bad boys. Cool. And what we'll most likely do is just set you up with one of the standard stream ones, because you don't need the world's greatest microphone to stream. You just need the basics. And you don't even need a camera to stream. Like, I have a camera, and I have a really nice camera. But it does help. It depends on the type of build you want to do. Essentially, I'm a flesh tuber. I've got my face here, spending a lot of money for it to not melt off. But yeah, I feel pretty sturdy here, but there is a huge leap coming. So what I'll probably... I know that the huge leap starts at 89, so wave 87 will grab our next growth. Because we're surviving pretty well. There we go. Our damage is pretty decent, which damage is illusion. It doesn't actually matter. There we go. Cause see, we're melting enemies, and yep. And one thing I want anyone to understand here, I do not care how rich or poor you are. The wealth you have, I think, is interesting or cool. I want to see what cool shit you buy. I want to enjoy the fun experiences that wealth brings. But, like, there comes as you build a community and things like that. Now, this can be a very controversial term, but basically, a lot of leftists like... Yeah, like the term mutual aid, which is a term I believe in. The problem with it is there's a lot of scams which are basically single beneficiary charities, where they go out and go, hey, can I have mutual aid request? And they put up a GoFundMe. That's not mutual aid. A good example of mutual aid is, hey, we want Waffle Wolf to be able to be in these voice chat libraries. Therefore, we got her a microphone. That is peak mutual aid. And also, I like... when I help people, my favorite type of ways to help people is giving them means of production. Essentially giving them ways that they can then produce and make money themselves and never have to deal with me again if they don't want to. Because that's also a peak of a thing being a gift. That no string, if there's strings attached to it, it's not a gift. It's a purchase or a contractual, a contract or something like that, verbal or otherwise. And of course, here's a more important thing: if your mom does not want this, like, we'll definitely need to have her permission before we do anything, because again, you're a minor. And I'm an adult, so it's my responsibility to make sure we're not doing anything your mother would not approve of. Yeah, and of course the middle ground too is she can set it up, like you can explain to her what an Amazon wish list is and that exactly what it is for. Like, this is a very explainable situation. I would also more than happily speak with her one-to-one. I think she'll find that I'm just a responsible adult and that this is pretty cool. There we go. We're now at 1702 health at wave 88. All right. Yeah, all right. So we grabbed the health exactly when we needed to, because this is going to get saucy. Next turn, we probably won't... Yeah, we're not going to get... We're really close to the edge on the HP. There we go, yep. So this would be spicy, but because of the slight modifications I made to the build, we're fine. We are definitely not going to die. I cut it close on the HP. We definitely have to grab a growth next turn, but I do think we're going to be able to start working on the invincibility half of our build. So we need to grab a growth here. Having to roll multiple times to get a white feels weird. I shouldn't have told the game we needed. There we go. 1921. So we shouldn't die in one hit, but yeah, we're definitely hitting the point that we gotta grab growths. Yep, so this is the spiciest turns. We have to go for the doublings. It's pencils down. If we didn't grab growth this turn, we would be seeing the game over screen. And we on the purple screens we'll still grab tomes because like HP is king. So this turn we're actually having to play. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so we cut it pretty close there, but we've got the soul beams, which are nice little HP ups. All right, Waffle Wolf, it's always great to have you. Brr. All right, I'm gonna be honest. This game, I don't want to go through picking out 60 tomes again. That was a whoop. We are going to exit out here, and I'm going to play some Rogue Legacy. I'll be back. The stream will be back up shortly. I did have regen. If I just needed to go up on my max HP a little more, and a little sooner, and I'd have been okay. I don't want to do it again, so we're gonna call it here. I may change the title a bit because I was going for the world record, but like the game needs some updates because the current meta build is boring.